here virtually, but I want everybody to kind of think back to their first car, their first car they ever purchased. For me, it was a Toyota Paseo. It was very small. It was a coupe. And like with that car, your first car, you're new to it. You get a car wash every couple of days. You get the little tree to put up into the dashboard to make everything smell great. And you kind of just like riding along. You're proud of it, even though this car, your first car, is probably a used car, so it has some history. But to you, it's brand new, and you are ready to go wherever you need to be with it. You're excited. So you have this car and you're driving around for, probably about a year. And one of the worst things that you can imagine happens to this car. And that's your check engine light comes on. So now you're dealt with this glaring symbol that shows that there's something wrong internally with this car. You don't know the cost. The fear is that it's going to cost you money. It's going to be super expensive. And also you're dealing with the fact that you just purchased this car. So you may not want to address this glaring issue in front of you. So you do what most people do who are from small towns or cities or whatever. You ask, how can I get this check engine light off without having to address whatever it is? So they might tell you, hey, disconnect the battery, go to the local shop person who can like get you your inspection sticker, even though it's on, whatever you can do to band-aid the issue. I remember one time they told me my gas cap needed to be tightened. So whatever you can do to get this symbol off of your screen so you can go about living everyday life. So you do that, you band-aid it. And in about a month, what do you think happens after that band-aid? That check engine light comes right back on and is glaring in your face, telling you that there's an issue internally that you need to diagnose and you need to fix. So you're riding around, you pick up your friend and they say, hey, your check engine light is on. So now at this point, you're no longer afraid of that check engine light. You're more annoyed by it. So you're like, I know the check engine light is on. It's still going to get us from point A to point B. Like, don't worry about it. Like, I know my car. So you drive on. You continue to go from point A to point B, always band-aiding the situation, but never really addressing the glaring issue. Till one day, you get in your car and it no longer starts. And now you take it to the mechanic. And that mechanic says, there's a lot of issues here that could have been fixed a long time ago. And they ask you, didn't you notice your check engine light on? And you may say to them, I was afraid to address it. And that's where we are as a nation. And that's where we are in our cities and our towns and our villages. The check engine light is on, and we've been afraid to address those issues for so long. So now it's time to diagnose those issues, and it's time to pass the baton to younger leaders, where now the older leaders can give them that experience. So when you hand them the keys, they're ready to make that move to change the world. Those glaring issues for us, that check engine light is, lack of quality education, a lack of true history, especially for those of us of Black and brown skin, lack of employment opportunities, lack of housing. All of these things are glaring issues, but are never being addressed because we're too worried about the distractions. And the best thing that we can do is prepare the future leaders and those that are in office as we speak to address these issues and hold them accountable. And the best way to do that is to project our own leadership, not have to choose between two people that's already been decided by us, but to build up our own and make sure that they diagnose and fix that check engine light, so we're not dealing with these age-old issues. So that's where I started in my community, as someone who wanted to check that engine light and make change. I haven't changed the world yet, but to get there, we have to address the people that are on the ground. So all of my initiatives, minority grants for businesses, for minorities and women and veterans, universal basic income program, all of these things where next time I have to go knock on doors to get votes, I'm not being told, no matter what, who's in charge, my life is going to be the same. And that's because I can be held accountable, and I'm willing to be held accountable. But at the same time, I'm always going to fight for the people because I know where they come from, because I'm coming from that same place. So thank you so much to Multicultural Bridge for having me tonight. And I look forward to a great evening.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to keep that check engine light. I might post it on my on my computer. And I really do appreciate that you've been, someone that's kept your word and stayed really connected to community. I love all the pictures of you in community and talking and being with people. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.